Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Blah, 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 blah. Wah, 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 wah. Nice to see people. I just realized I'm kind of shiny. Just got out of the shower. Just did some moisturizing of ye oldie skinny. Good morning, Anna, or Anna, however you pronounce it. Good morning, me. Good morning, me. Welcome to you. Linda, nice to see you. Good morning, Donna. Jonna, I can feel my Boston accent. Jonna, gosh, Jonna. Wicked nice to see you. Katie, nice to see you too. I love this. This is so much fun to me. I gotta share. Call me wacky, but I love what I do, and it's really cool to love what you do. Claire, just nice to see you. So Melvin K. All right, so we got some people kind of filing in. Very nice. Um, I had a great trip. I really did. I was just thinking, yeah, park the car and have it, yeah, Donna, right? I was just thinking on my morning walk here back at home how much I love to travel and how much I love to be home and how much I love to be with people I like and how much I like to be alone. Oh my gosh, I got to give that to my husband. He could write a song about it because I kind of rhymed, huh? Anywho, if in case you have never met me before, I'm just coming across your page. My name is Beth, but I am a decluttering life coach. Now, what the heck does that mean? Thank you, Donna. I feel refreshed, and yes, I got new glasses. Actually, check them out. Check this out. They're those ones with the magnets on them. I am a decluttering life coach, and I show up on your TikTok page because, and maybe you're sticking around to see what I do, is because I help you if you're struggling with clutter and stuff in your home, in your head, in your life, right? We start with your home first because it's so much easier to chunk it down that way. And the neat thing is the way that I teach you how to kind of overcome the overwhelm of your clutter and get started, creating the space you like is to give you skills, share with you skills that you can practice that don't even work with just clutter. It works with everything. So good. Thank you so much, everybody, for the glasses thing. I'm going to do a TikTok video about my glasses place here in town because I love them so much. But I appreciate that. But I am here for the next hour. What should we use in your hair to make it look like that? Some purple stuff. I can't remember what it's called. Katie, I promise I will bring the thing with me the next. I'm doing some TikTok lives all this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then I'm off the grid over the weekend. I'll show you that. Okay, I promise. It's some goofy stuff, but it works. And crazy thing about my hair, and this is not going to be all about me. I'll just say one more thing, and I'm going to flip it over to focusing on you. But my hair is looking good, right? Of course, because I'm getting my hair cut later today. It's always like, no, don't cut me. No, don't cut me, right? So anyhow, yes. I am here to help you with your clutter and your stuff. What do I mean by that? You've got stuff in your home, right? You probably have some stuff, some things in your house, and maybe too much, maybe not the right combo. It's almost like I think of like Goldilocks. Never mind the fact that she broke into the Three Bears house when they were out there, but just that notion of too hard, too soft, just right, too much, too little, too hot, too cold. What I love to help you do is to create your home, your life, your whatever you want in make it just right for you. Okay? There we go. And what I want to offer is I just got a really good notice I got to share with you. I do one-on-one coaching. I wouldn't bring this up usually early, but I will say I do one-on-one coaching with people, and I just got a really cool message just popped up from one of my clients. So yay, go you. Kimmy Sue is asking, what does my cup say? Now I made this for myself, and oh my gosh, I got to share with you guys. This is not supposed to be some sort of me, my hair, my glasses, my coaching, my mug, but I will share with you that I made this mug myself. I was trying out this new this place where you can get merch done, and two of the things that motivate me and inspire me in the morning, where I put my tea in here, are things that I have said to myself. So this one says, listen to your co-pilot, not your backseat drivers. And I will share with you that. And then the other one says, drive your life in the direction of your dreams. So I like to do two things. I like to think of things as a road trip. So you are here. Where's my finger? You are here on a map, and there are things that you like about your life. There are things you don't like about your life. And I say life, and I tend to use life and home kind of interchangeably because I'm a certified life coach, so I tend to kind of mix and match those because they're kind of the same thing. But just think about this. You're in your home. There's things you like about it. There's things you don't like about it. The things you don't like about it, if you change them, would make your home be more like a destination, a fun place you'd be excited to get to, right? So I frame everything when I'm coaching, when I'm talking about if you are, because you are in the driver's seat of your life. You're in the driver's seat of your, what the things you do in your house, in your life. You can steer towards what you want. You can steer away from it. You can not move at all. You can show up every day and light the spark in your ignition and start moving in the direction you want. It's all up to you. So I say two things. One is, yes, everybody, drive your life in the direction of your dreams, right? Your dreams, what you want, things happening. And then the other thing is listening to your co-pilot versus your backseat drivers. So when I speak to you, I'm coming from what I like to call my co-pilot voice. I am here on this journey with you to encourage you, to provide you with what I call more helpful thoughts that are going to get you unstuck and not overwhelmed. And I see the clutter questions coming in, so I will totally be dealing with those in a minute. But I would just love to, and I'm going to do another video about these. I post videos on TikTok a lot, and I do these lives. Is to just think about this when we're first starting off. Is you have thoughts in your head that make you feel a certain way in your heart. And when you feel a certain way in your heart because of your thoughts, you do a certain thing with your hands. So head, heart, hands. It's almost like being, at church or something, but so much better. Okay? What I want to lay on you, what I want to like share with you is the thoughts that if you are stuck, if you are overwhelmed, you have some unhelpful thoughts that are making you feel a certain way. Now, on my morning walk this week, I realized that right here in your heart, so you've got your unhelpful thoughts make you feel meh, and then you don't know what to do, so you don't do anything, or you just do the same things over and over again. On the other hand, on the other side of this kind of imaginary, wonderful symmetry dividing line that, gets our body moving, you have helpful thoughts that make you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better, and you will do something. You will get up. You will take action towards your dreams, right? And what I want to just share with you, because I was so excited to realize this, I make my coaching as simple as possible, right? So unhelpful thought makes you feel a certain way. The feeling is either encouraged or discouraged. Or discouraged or encouraged. And it's all about courage. So if you have an unhelpful thought, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, I feel discouraged. I don't have the courage to do something with my hands, so I don't do it. On the other hand, on the other side of that line, on this hand, you can have a better thought, which is usually the opposite of the unhelpful one. I know what to do if I'm overwhelmed, and I'll get to that in a sec. I know how to chunk it down. I know how to write it down. I know how to chunk it down, and I know how to get started. I feel encouraged because I know what to do. I have courage. I have confidence in myself. When I have encouragement, when I have courage, I will do something about my situation with my hand. If I have a better thought that makes me feel better, and better is encouraged versus discouraged, okay? So I want to share. Melissa, you're saying my basement is so cluttered. Where to start? So overwhelming. Where to start? So overwhelming. I love that you phrased it with instead of overwhelm first and then where to start, because I want to suggest to you and to everybody, game changer. Think of it a new way. This is how I changed what I was doing, was I think of it like a road trip, okay? Everybody, think of your life as a road trip. Think of your decluttering as a road trip. Think of everything. Think of everything as a road trip, okay? And where do you want to go? What do you want your basement to look like? What do you want to feel like when you're in your basement? And how do you want your basement to function? Those are kind of the three heavy hitters. 3 to me is a magic number because I am Gen X, and so I'm quoting, Schoolhouse Rock all the time. Or actually, that would be Multiplication Rock, brought to you by Nabisco. See what I mean? So just think about it. So, Melissa, what do you want your basement to look like? Here's a tip. I make it so easy. I like ask you a question and then I give you the shortcut to the answers. How you want it to look is the opposite of the unpsyched way it's looking now. If it's cluttered, you want it to be decluttered. That's an easy one, right? But how do you want it to be? Disorganized to organized. Empty, full, too much, emptier. Organized, anything. Think of the opposite. Think of this line right here. On the one hand, you can be here and be discouraged and not do anything. On the other hand, let's make yourself a more helpful thought. Feel you encouraged, and then you can do something, okay? So envision your destination. Write it down. The opposite of overwhelm. This will help take care of the overwhelm. A few deep breaths. What's on the other side? What's the opposite? And then overwhelm means you're thinking of it too big. You pull that overwhelm down. You say, I got this. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to go from over to down. I'm going to chunk it down. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to get my thoughts out of my head and onto paper. From up here to down there. Overwhelm to down on paper. I'm going to write it down and all the things that are overwhelming me. It's too much. There's too much stuff. What is it? Anything that's going on with you, clutter-wise, write it down and then look at it and then chunk it down. What can I do today? Melissa, do you have time today to do something about your basement? Everybody, do you have time to do something to get your life more like your destination than your where you are now? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And if you don't think you do, I will say this. This is going to get to trust me, I feel like I'm transitioning into a Ronco infomercial, but I'm doing this for a strategic reason because I want to help you with stuff. And I just helped a bunch of people on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list yesterday because I did a free, just for the people on the mailing list, it was a free Zoom workshop about how to take control of the time in your day, in your week, so you have time to do not just the things you have to do, but the things you want to do. Now, I say that to you right now because if you have that unhelpful thought of I don't have time that makes you feel discouraged and not getting started, if you sign up for the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, and as I said, I know this sounds like a commercial. I'm being very obvious about that. You will get a link to the 2 workshops I did. I will make sure that you get those, okay? I did one at the beginning of June, and this was they kind of work together, a tandem thing. So if you're interested in that, destinationdecluttered.com. It's free. The only thing I ever charge for at this point is my one-on-one coaching. So if you want that, that's charged. Everything else I do is free. But destinationdecluttered.com/join is my mailing list. And if you sign up, you're going to get a free habit tracker. Where is it? I've got one around here somewhere that looks like this. I use this myself, and this really helps you kind of make it fun. Again, road trip based. You're kind of trucking your way across the U.S. And then also learning how to take time. So what can you do today with the time you have, even if it's 5 minutes, to say, I am not overwhelmed. I've got this, and I'm going to do something in my basement. Now, Melissa, that was kind of specific to you, but I want to share with you that every single TikTok live that I do, somebody is always saying, I don't know where to start. I am so overwhelmed. So you are in good company, okay? Lorraine, you are also in good company because you're talking about paper clutter. Now, I love talking about clutter, and I don't care if I'm repeating myself all over again. Get curious. Everybody, curiosity. Remember I was talking about that kind of dividing line? Over here, we've got unhelpful, discouragement, doing the same old thing or nothing with your hand. Over here on this side, the folded paper, as I like to do when I'm coaching, curiosity. Curiosity, people. It's going to open you up to figure out why are you doing the things you're doing. And what I want to offer to you, Lorraine O'Shaughnessy, sorry, I probably mangled your last name. You get curious about what papers are your nightmare. What papers are you saving that are overwhelming you? The reason I say get curious is because here's what I have found with myself and my clients and my family and my friends, that we are all of us are in a transitionary phase. We are in like a changing of the guard from being a solely paper-based society, where back a few decades ago, not as far as you think, but a few decades ago, if you didn't have that piece of paper to prove you did something, you could get in real trouble because there wasn't this thing called the internet. There weren't PDFs. We did not have home printers, right? So just notice that sometimes our habits are based on things that are no longer relevant, relevant, right? So just notice the paper. What are you saving it? Why are you saving it? And I don't say that accusatorily. I say it with, what do you call it? Oh, thanks everybody. I just saw a bunch of people sign up for my mailing list. I will send you out the links to the things. Oh, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to love it. I do a free Zoom once a month too. You're going to get an invite for that. I just like to make it fun. I like to just give stuff away for free. And then I charge for my coaching. Anyhow, where were we? We were paper cluttering, okay? Just get curious. When's the last time you actually referred back to some of the paper you are saving? I ask this of myself, and I'm like, you know what? I don't, but I will share with you. Being a Gen Xer, I have a system that I set up years ago that's wicked easy for me to save my paper. It takes no time at all, so I don't change my habit. Notice how I said at the beginning, what do you want your home to look like and feel like, but how do you want it to function? I don't mess up with my systems that give me the results I want in the time that it takes, right? I file my stuff away, wicked easy peasy. But I would say to you, if you don't have a system, seriously, take all your papers, take your mail out of the envelopes, look at them, deal with whatever needs to be dealt with. But if you're just in the I need to save it phase, then get a box, label it 2023, put it in the box, and if you need to ever look at that piece of paper again, you know where it's going to be. It's going to be in the 2023 box that's in the bottom of your closet. Make it easy. I make it so freaking easy. I hate it when things are so complicated. I try to keep my language simple, my analogies relevant, even when I can't pronounce the word, and just think about the last time you looked at this stuff. And if you do, dig around in the box till you find it. I'm going to bet you rarely have to look for those things. That said, if there are papers that you know you're going to need for your taxes for next year, start another box and just put tax paperwork on it. I have started that myself. I got like a random thing. I donated some of my coaching to a thing I believe in, and I got a thank you note and a donation letter for a thank you, and that's going to be part of my taxes. So what did I do? It's July right now. I'm not going to really need it till January or February of next year, but I printed it out now, and I've already started like a manila envelope with my tax stuff for next year. Took me 2 seconds. Peace of mind all over the place, okay? So just everybody, get curious about, again, we were talking about paper clutter. Just get curious about what you are saving and why you're saving it. Just start that conversation with yourself, with me. If I were your coach, I would just ask you with love and curiosity. And I have love and curiosity in my heart because my love and curiosity is your co-pilot saying, all right, you're the driver. I'm just here in the passenger seat. Where do you want to go? I can help you get there. And how I do that is by asking you questions that are going to help you realize, do I need this thing? Do I want this thing? It may have been helpful in the past. Do I need it now? Does this align with what I want my life to look like? And the answer can be no. The answer can be yes. The answer can be whatever you want because it's up to you. You can be all that you want to be, all right? Oh my gosh, I just looked, 89 new messages. I am going to do my best to get to everybody today. But what I want to suggest is if you really want the good stuff, just get on my mailing list. And I see a bunch of you are doing that, which is awesome. I swear to God, Johnny, I swear to God, I do not spam you. Like I just sent out a all killer, no filler email to the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list yesterday. You guys get the good stuff first, okay? I just want to share that with you. Like, for example, I will share this now because I've already shared it with them. I offer one-on-one coaching, and for a while there, I did not have bandwidth in my schedule because I was so busy with coaching to even do consultations. I also go off the digital grid for a while. Now I have some consultation slots available. If you're interested in, if you think you would be digging it, if I was like your one-on-one coach, I work on a 10-week program that I have. If you want to extend it, I always can do that. I've done it for many clients. But 10 weeks between now and like the beginning of like October, if you started coaching with me like next week, by the beginning of October, can you imagine how much more awesome your home, your life would feel and function? If you're interested in that, paid coaching, my email my website, destinationdecluttered.com. There's a big thing that says like schedule your consultation. A calendar pops up, all that kind of stuff. All right, just want to mention that. All right, now I'm going to hit 98 new messages. Oh my God, whoa! All right, I'm going to scroll back a little bit. I want to thank everybody. Oh, and just randomly, if you haven't liked my TikTok page, if you could do that, that will help me know that what I'm doing is helping other people. I think it also might like boost my signal with TikTok, so it might get into other people who who have never heard of me. But then also when I do TikTok lives, you will be notified about them, I believe, because you are following me. And I do TikTok lives often. If you go to my page, you will actually see that I always pin a video to the top that gives the schedule so you can know when I'm showing up, because I like to do that. Okay, where do we go here? What do we get? Some good stuff I can help. There we go. Doop-a-dee-ba. Here's the funny thing. I share this about myself because talk about goofy habits. When I am my thinking music, I realized is like the what is it? It's not the Jeopardy theme song. It's like the Price is Right music, like from the 1970s. Ba 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 ba. Oh, German Made 95 enjoyed the Zoom call yesterday. I'm glad you did. I'm glad it helped. There we go. Paper clutter and clothing. Okay, clutter and clothing. Donna, you mentioned clothing. Clothing's a big one. Let me help you with that. Okay, let me help you and everybody else. Same type of thing. So let me roll out some skills. If I had a book, I should probably write a book. But I will say to you, think of clutter in 3 kind of layers. You've got surface clutter, you've got stored clutter, you've got sentimental clutter. Save the sentimental clutter for last, but clothing kind of falls under the surface into stored clutter, okay? So if you have clothing that's out on top of surfaces, or if you have anything on top of surfaces, tables, desks, bureaus, any horizontal surface, it's usually because it's not where it's supposed to be. Now, it could be not where it's supposed to be because you haven't decided where it goes, but you probably have a place where it goes, and we're talking about clothing. So you might have a closet or some like bureau drawers or dressers, I think some people call them, because bureau is too hard to spell. And what I want to suggest is if your clothes can't fit in your drawers, if your drawers can't fit in your drawers, if you know what I mean, open up those drawers and see what's in them. I crack myself up. Open up your bureau drawers and see what's getting in the way of you putting away the clothes that you're wearing. And here's the beauty of this. What you're going to find out with your stored clutter is that you have a lot of stuff that you use on a regular basis. It's in circulation. It's the food you eat. It's the dishes you do. It's the laundry you have. It's the clothes you wear in circulation. Get curious about the stuff that's not in circulation. Why are you not eating it? Why are you not wearing it? So with clothing, why are you wearing all the clothes that are in your drawers? If you aren't, get curious why. Again, curious, not judgment. Judgment, unhelpful. Meh. Curiosity and love. Judgment, fear. Why am I not wearing this? I'll give some answers from my closet right here. It's the wrong season. It's kind of uncomfortable. I don't know if I fit into it anymore, and I'm kind of afraid to try it on, right? Those are some answers, right? If the stuff that you wear all the time can't fit where you are, just look through it. It's like, I don't know. I don't even like that thing anymore. I can give it away. So decide what you want to keep and decide what is you're ready to go with. And then you will create more space, but just get curious. Now, this is another thing that comes up with clothing is people say, okay, yeah, it doesn't fit me now, but I hope to fit into it someday. Rock on. Rock on. Give yourself the opportunity. I love saying this. Give yourself the opportunity to become the person you want to become. And this is why I love intertwining my life coaching with the decluttering. It's not just about your house looking good in case Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg knock on the door, right? No, it's about you feeling good in your home, in your life, in your body, in everything. So if you are saying, I have clothing that I used to fit into that I want to fit into again, cool. Here's what I recommend though. In the meantime, to make room for the clothing you currently do wear and is in circulation and you currently are wearing it, just take the clothes that you currently don't fit in, put them away in a tote, a clear tote with a plastic lid, put some painter's tape, get a Sharpie, and say clothing size, fill in the blank. Put away on this date, blank, fit into by this date. Give yourself a destination and then put it away so it gives you more room for the things you are currently using. But also it gives you an opportunity. It gives you kind of a not a due date, a destination, a goal to say, okay, if I want to fit into those clothes, I've got to change my habits. I've got to do something to change the size of my body to whatever the size that is, and then give yourself the time to do that. Now, if you get to that day and you don't fit in the clothing, decide then if you still want to fit into them. The answer can be yes, and you can repeat the process. Or the answer can be no. And if the answer is no, what you've already done is you've already made a decision about that clothing, that if you want to donate it somewhere, all you need to do is dump that tote into a bag and donate it somewhere. Okay? Give yourself the opportunity to use the stuff that you're saying, I might use it someday, but also be curious about when's the last time you did use it, and give yourself like kind of a due date of when you're going to use it. 6 months from now, crazy enough, 6 months from now is like January, almost February. Yeah. So give yourself 6 months. And if you haven't used it in 6 months, revisit it and say, do I really need this crock pot? Do I really need this pair of, skinny jeans, whatever it happens to be? Okay? Hope that helps. Nalisha is having a hard time unpacking after a divorce. I bet there's a lot going on there, my dear. And what I want to encourage you about is, oh my God, you get to start a new life. You get a redo. You can do better this time. I speak from total experience. So start to envision your destination. I start with everything, starting on the destination, and believe you can have the life be better. Okay? It may be, you may be emotionally raw right now because it's a lot of stuff, but oh my God, lady, you got good stuff going on, okay? And if you start to say, this is a new opportunity, oh my God, the world is opening up for me, like, it's going to feel good. You can create the home you want. I will say this too. Anything you packed away while you were going through divorce that you unpack now and tells you bad stories, find a way to get rid of it. Pass it along. Just share it with somebody who doesn't know the story, right? And I got to share too. I went through a divorce. It was awful at the time, but it was, I can smile about it now, but at the time it was terrible. Hashtag the Smiths. It was, oh my God, my life is so much better in so many ways that I couldn't have even dared to dream of had I not taken that scary step. So lady, you're going on the right track, okay? And anybody else who's going through any transitions, just know that you are evolving, and say, I am creating a better life for myself. There we go. Well, going on a road trip to avoid things is one thing. Going on a road trip knowing that you're not running away from something is a totally different vibe, okay? There we go. Somebody wants you to put it in a black trash bag and throw it away. There we go. I did have fun on my trip. Thank you very much. I love to travel and I love to be home. Okay. This and that creation. I have in the past got decluttered just to go back to it again. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because this is the thing I'm good at. Oh, somebody just signed up for a consultation. Thank you. I'll get to you when I this morning and confirm that. Decluttering to me, the way I coach it and the way I live it, it's kind of a two-step process. We often forget the second part. The first part is knocking down that kind of what I call the backlog. I say it kind of like here in the past, it's the stuff that has accumulated in your life that you're like, I have too much and all I need to do is whittle it down and then I'll be fine. That's part of the process. But while you're doing that, you need to change your habits. And your habits start up here and in here and with these. And what I want to offer to this and that creations and anybody else me is, unless you change your habits, you're going to do the same things that got the stuff piling up again. And just notice that and say, oh, I didn't even think about that. You're right. Get curious. Curiosity. Get curious about why did that stuff end up on, why is the kitchen table a mess again? And I want to ask you that seriously, if little people from Stonehenge, if little gremlins and little leprechauns and fairies and stuff are seriously coming in and making that mess and you seriously don't know how it got there, tell me. I want us to go viral, right? Usually what happens is we're not thinking, and so we fall back into like a groove and a rut. Like we drive down the paved road in our brain that does the same thing with our hands. Oh, that's right. I dropped my, I forgot to hang up my coat again, or that's where I always drop the mail, or I tend to drop the mail wherever I go. Just get curious about your habits, become aware of them, be like, oh, that's right. That's how I got cluttered. Change your habit. I can change this habit. I want a decluttered life. Do something different. Practice doing something different till the better habit, the more helpful habit becomes your new habit. And then voila, you got a wicked, decluttered home. No, I wasn't like this for the first many decades of my life. I grew up in a cluttered home. My family is still cluttered. I have my moments. Trust me, I'm human. My husband's we're all part on this journey together. But I gotta just tell you how much better it feels. And seriously, part of the better feeling is I don't have to spend all my time and my brain energy going, oh, I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to do, oh, I got to clean it up. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. It's just done because I do a little bit at a time and it's no big deal. And then I have so much more time to do the things I want to do. Okay, there we go. All right. Yep. ADHD people need to write things down. Okay. I am going to do my best. I will say this right now. So this is for everybody. So there's a lot of comments here that I'm going to endeavor to get to in the next 28 minutes, but then I hop into coaching right away. So I need to sign off, hard stop at like 8:59. And I wouldn't be surprised if my clients are on this because I get many of my clients from TikTok. So if you're interested in becoming one of my clients, website, schedule a consultation, all that. But what I say about this is, I will show up I am showing up on TikTok every day this Monday, today, tomorrow, next day, not Friday. But anyhow, I will endeavor to answer your questions here. If I don't, feel free to show up again. There also may be a video on my TikTok page that may help you. If it doesn't, let me know. Send me a message through TikTok, and if I don't have an email, like if I don't have a video to direct you to, I can make one. Okay. How do you start, Jen? You start with the end in mind. You get excited about where you're going. That's the game changer for me. I used to I've written books, right? I have been a road tripper all my life, getting in the car, driving away from my problems, discovering other things that I was excited about, and doing that enough that I knew how to plan a kick-ass road trip. Strangely enough, I didn't use those same principles, and my life was not such a kick-ass road trip until I said, hey, why don't I treat my life like a road trip? And the first thing I realized is a road trip means you're driving towards something you're excited to get to, and you're going to do the stuff you need to get to it, right? So try that on for size, okay? There we go. Does anyone know how to find a local women's shelter to donate some clothes to? I don't do Goodwill. User 972037 yada yada. Google it. You will be surprised at, say women's shelter, insert town, county, state, whatever. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. You are on the right path. You are, my dears. All right. I'm going to scroll back here. I don't know if you can see this. Probably not just me. But, here's a cool thing. Kimmy Sue just said, this is a perfect to listen to as I have a long commute to work. And actually, this is great. I feel like I should not trademark some of these things. Yesterday, somebody called me like the cooler Marie Kondo, which I thought was kind of fun. No offense to Marie, but also Donna. Donna just said, I hear your voice and it's like a bell telling me to throw out some shit. I don't know if I can screenshot that. But, you're cracking me up, lady. Okay. And Kimmy Sue is saying, this is perfect to listen to as I have a long commute to work. Here's a fun thing. Okay. Is, I have learned from the people who have showing up from the TikTok lives and are helping me help you by telling me what I can do better to help you, is they say, hey, do you record these and could I listen to it later? Now, it never occurred to me that somebody would want to do that, but I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Cool thing is that TikTok gives me a way to download the video. And then what I do is I download the video and then I upload it to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. There I have like a category called TikTok Lives. And what I have found is that when I do that, people pop them on like podcasts. Like, trust me, the only thing you ever see in one of my lives is me talking, and who needs to see that? What you need to do is listen to this, get inspired, look around your house, maybe even put it on and walk around and declutter while I'm talking. Or when you have one on, little Pavlov's dog action. Okay. Britt, you're asking, how do we get the newsletter again? Sign up for my mailing list. Okay. So to destinationdecluttered.com/join. Also, there is a link, like Destination Decluttered /links on my the front of my TikTok page. If you click that, that will show you how to get a consultation for one-on-one coaching. That would give you the link for signing up for the mailing list. It also shows you where I am on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. I don't do as much on Facebook and Instagram there, but if you know people that are struggling with clutter that aren't on TikTok, you can let them know that I do repost not my lives, but my videos that I make. And I'm going to be posting a lot more videos this week since I'm back from my trip. But that's where I am. So destinationdecluttered.com is kind of like the easy peasy thing to remember. Okay. Hope that helps. Alia, if somebody wants to refer a client to me, how can I reach out? You know what? Sign up for my mailing list, and that comes from my email, and then just reply to it, and that you can just send them. Even just send me the Destination Decluttered. See if it's a good fit. Send them my page. See if they would like to work with me. That's the whole thing. That's one of the reasons I show up on TikTok, is to be myself, and this is how I show up. I show up. I'm not fancy. I'm not corporate. I am Gen X in a black t-shirt with glasses and a pop culture sensibility. I crack myself up. I make things fun. I may burst out into song. I may do something from my Fozzie Bear School of Comedy. You know, I like to make it fun. And so if you think the people would like to work with me, we can figure that out. And if you'd like to work with me, we can figure that out too. All right. I just love that. I hear your voice and it's a bell to me to throw out some shit. Love it. Thank you, Donna. Okay. I have so many nice clothes, name brand, some with tags on them. Cancer caused weight gain. Oh man. And feel like I'm throwing my money away. Okay. Just notice that life happens, hun. I'm going through the change, and boy, do I have a lot more pounds on my body than I used to. I don't fit into clothes that I used to fit into, and I am going through that journey of trying to love myself no matter what I look like or feel like. But what I want to offer is, if you think you're going to get back to that size, maybe give it a shot. I'll be honest, I don't feel like making the effort to whittle myself down to a tiny size. But what I could do is think of the fact that there's somebody out there of that size who may not be able to afford those clothes, that you could light up somebody else's life by making them look really sharp in those clothes. You can donate those somewhere. Maybe you want to sell them if you choose to sell them. But notice how, if you think about what you're losing when you like, oh, I don't have that, I don't fit into it, it's going to make you feel discouraged, and it's going to make you want to cling on to things. But if you have a better thought and you say, you know what, I bet I could really help somebody out with these clothes that no longer do it for me. My abundance can help somebody else in the world. That gives you courage. It kind of opens you up. You know, it makes you feel love versus fear, and that might help you. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Sunflower, for signing up. Okay, I got to zoom ahead here because I got to keep eyeful. Yep, there we go. Oops, sorry, things are going on here. I love it, and I got to share, all y'all, is the body doubling totally works, even just with the videos that I do. People say that's helping. There you go, turning on deep cleans. What I want to offer is... Shit, just lost my train of thought. I don't know. I'm going to look at the stuff here. There we go. You're already on your entire commute. I'm going to try to do this. Yeah, there we go. One step at a time. This is what I was going to say. I just love it. I don't know why it happens, but I'm so grateful it does, is that I have such a freaking good community. Immediately when I do one of these TikTok lives, when I'm busy talking and trying to answer one question in depth, other questions will pop up, and I will notice that folks will help each other out. I love that about you all. I love that about us. We're just here trying to help people we don't even know with the skills that we have, you know? Somebody said, yeah, where do you start when you're overwhelmed? Barbie doll. You calm it down. You take the overwhelm, the spaghetti, you dump the spaghetti. Instead of over, down. You write it down. You chunk it down. You get started, And I see some awesome things that people are saying. I love this. All right. Whatever we have. Yep. My voice puts me in clean up before your neighbor walks in mode, and there you go. One of my lives inspired me. Awesome. Okay. All right, so what else do we have here? Body doubling. Yeah, so and if anybody doesn't know, so I have coached people, and I do have ADHD in my family, both medicated and unmedicated. I probably have it recessively, but what I do is I use all sorts of skills, especially in the one-on-one coaching. We find a system. I mean, God, it sounds like, oh, I almost sounded like something on TV. Like, we find a system that works for you. But seriously, what we do is I just get curious, and you walk me through what's working. And then when it doesn't work, we get curious and say, ooh, what could you do differently there? And we try again, and we see what works. And getting yourself to experiment with new habits until you find something that sticks and starts getting you the results you want, that's a game changer. Yeah, brain dump on paper for 3 minutes. There we go. Jill Grateful just said, had a giant garage sale this weekend. That helps. There we go. See, here's a funny thing. I love the cleaning TikTok hacks, but I definitely have too many cleaning products. There we go. You know, I joke about my mother buys these cleaning products all the time, and I'm like, Ma, you still have to use them. Like, just because you bought them doesn't mean that all of a sudden your house is clean. It's kind of like that disconnect. Catherine is saying, I bit off a small piece and just cleared and organized the top of my dresser. Felt good. I love that you noticed that a small bit. Notice how it feels. People always think how it looks. When it looks that way, like when it looks cluttered, how does that feel? But when it looks uncluttered, decluttered, clean, simple, fresh, light, organized, in control, how does that feel? It feels good. We're going for the visuals, but the visuals are really just to get us feeling good. Because as I say, it's not like, Home and Garden is going to knock on your door and be like, quick, we need to take pictures immediately, right? You want it to look good for yourself, and you want it to look good for yourself so that when you walk around, you feel good in your home. You're like, oh my gosh, I am just looking at the stuff that I love, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love, 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 love. When you see something, you're like, I don't know if that works anymore. I don't really like these pens. Maybe I'll donate them. I'll secretly drop it off to some place that they don't have pens anymore, like the bank or something, right? But notice how when you start to just remove the items that no longer give you that love feeling. And I mean, it doesn't need to be like love. Oh my God, like I love my spatula, right? Sometimes there's things in your home that make it function easily. If I didn't have a spatula, I couldn't flip my pancakes, right? But do you need the quantity of them that we want? Now, the funny thing is, my mother had a ton of spatulas, as my sister will attest. My husband, who does most of the cooking in the home, has many spatulas, but he insists that, yes, each one of these, I've asked, do you really need these many spatulas? And his answer is yes. And since he spatulas and cooks for me, I'm like, all right, works for me. We have the room for it. It's not like we don't have any, all right? So just notice about that. Clutter creates mental chaos. It is true. And sometimes mental chaos creates clutter because you get all confused up here and you say, I don't have time. I'm too over here. And I just have to tell you, writing it down makes a huge difference. I'm going to give another shout out to if you sign up for the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. Now, I don't do this to spam you. I just like to have a more direct line where I can share the good stuff with people who have said, I am interested in the good stuff. And yesterday I did a free workshop on Zoom for people on my mailing list about how to answer the question, or how to overcome that unhelpful thought of, oh, I don't have time to do that. And maybe you don't have time. Maybe legitimately today, literally between 11 and 2:30, I am chock-a-block full. I don't have even a minute. I have literally a minute between things. Sometimes I don't, though. Then I have a window of opportunity, But I only know that because I have gotten it out of my head and onto paper and seen where the chunks are and seen where the gaps are. I call it breeze blocking. Look it up. And if you want to get a recording of that workshop I did, I actually did 2 of them, so you get the things. Sign up for my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. I see some folks are already doing it. I see somebody has signed up for a consultation. That's going to be fun. You will get the welcome email with the habit tracker on it, but then I also will send up, and I got to do this manually. I got to figure out a way to do it, in like automatically, but I will send you the email that I just sent out to the people on the mailing list. It's got a lot of good stuff. What does it have on it? It's got the invitation to the free August Zoom call, group Zoom call. It's got the notification of the availabilities of when I'm doing consultations. It's got the links to the recordings of these things. Really helpful stuff. Okay. All right, Jenny Humphreys, let's get into this. My problem is ridding my mother's items and some from grandma too. Daughter-in-laws will not want. Trust me, lady, I get this one like nobody's business because I am Gen X. I have older relatives. I have my mother. I have inherited stuff, and there are younger generations, right? Let's break the chain. Our older generations had a certain way they thought about stuff that made them feel a certain way and hung on to a lot of stuff, usually informed by somebody's a situation in the Great Depression of the 1930s, which was almost 100 years ago, but is still showing its effects. Okay? The world has changed greatly since then, and I want you to empower you to break that cycle and say, I'm only going to save the things that I want. This is sentimental clutter. So remember I talked earlier about you've got surface clutter, stored clutter, and sentimental clutter. I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos on sentimental clutter this week, I realize, because that's the one people struggle with the most. And strangely, it's the one that people start with. Now, I want to offer to you, get practice in making decluttering decisions about your own stuff that you have purchased. Get in the habit of asking yourself, what is this thing? Do I want it now? If I want it, where does it go? If I don't want it, how can I release it? Practice on the stuff you have yourself purchased so that your brain starts to create this neural pathway of answering that question in a way that aligns with your life. If you start with the heavy stuff, it's going to be so much more difficult, okay? But with sentimental clutter, notice my hands are right here on my heart. Sentimental clutter is the stuff that tells you stories of stuff that happened in the past, people who lived, people who owned those things. There are stories in those things, some good, some bad, some you don't even know the stories except the person owned this thing, right? Notice that and decide what stories you want to pull into your life, and then what are the ones that you want to carry on for like the generations 100 years from today, as the song says, right? Why are you keeping it? And also I want to offer that don't guilt people into saving things that they do not want. You don't have to love something. You don't have to, I love saying this because it's so true. Just because you loved somebody doesn't mean you have to love the stuff that they owned. Just because you loved or love somebody doesn't mean you need to keep the stuff that they collected. They enjoyed collecting it. That was their thing. It doesn't have to be your thing. I have a collection. I did a TikTok live. I did a pop-up TikTok on Saturday, I think it was, from my living room. And I am surrounded by like 100 cheesy plastic snow domes that I love, right? I do not expect my nieces and nephew to be interested in those at all. If they want to donate them someplace when I'm dead, go at it. I won't guilt them into it, right? Don't guilt yourself into keeping stuff in your home that you don't want. The best way to get your home looking and feeling and functioning like you want to is simply by removing the things that just ain't doing it for you. They either never did or they did for a while, now they don't. Getting rid of things that don't work. So you're left with things that do work, and break that change. Barbie is saying, how do you teach your kids to pick up after themselves after unintentionally teaching them not to? Love this question. Barbie, rock on with your bad self. Notice that you said you unintentionally taught them not to pick up after themselves. How about that got you it's like unhelpful thing. Oops, that's what I ended up. On the other hand, on the other side of this lovely line, on the other hand, say, you know what, if I unintentionally taught them to not pick up after themselves, I can intentionally teach them to pick up after themselves. It's just a different habit. And when they see that the home looks better and feels better and they can find their stuff easily, and it's just a good life skill, I would say this, lead by example. Start doing it yourself and call yourself out. Oh, I just remembered. I used to drop my stuff here. Now I'm putting it away. Hey, in the house now, this is what we all do, spouses and partners included, everybody in the home. needs to learn the life skill of decluttering, of saying to yourself, what is this item in my life? Do I want it? If I want it, where does it go? And then putting it there. It is a life skill, and it's a habit, and it's a really wicked good habit to have. If we all had learned this habit at some time before in our lives, we would not be on this TikTok. But we didn't, so this is why I do what I do. And I love to get with, I coach people with families, I coach couples, I coach individuals, I coach anybody who wants to change their relationship with their clutter and their stuff because they're tired of the way things have been. And I love it when I teach people, when I coach people that have kids, because teaching them this skill when they're little just means that it'll just be the way that they go through life, and there's no drama about it and whatever, you know? So there we go. I hope that helps. I just started that last week. The kids already 1 week are cleaning rooms daily. See? Yeah. You know, I saw my mom struggle with clutter her entire life. Now I ask, has this item served its purpose? I love seeing this, noticing that the older generation struggled with this. My mom struggles with this stuff. She's not figuring it out. She's got her own issues, but I can break this chain, and then I can also release the next generation, because I don't have kids, but I've got my nieces and nephew, that I don't want them to be burdened with stuff that they thought was going to work and it doesn't, you know? Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm the first person to respond intelligently to my questions. Bless you. You know? Well, thanks. I hope this is what I do. I show up and I help in the way that I do, you know? There we go. I gave my older kids rewards, movie tickets as a sleepover if their room was clean. That's a good idea, except if you're always, like, the reward should be, kind of like we all do this, is how does my room look? How do I feel when I'm in my room? And can I easily find my stuff? You know? I mean, when I wanted to have my friends over for a sleepover, if my room was a hot mess, I would have felt lousy. If I was digging around and I couldn't find my sneakers and I had to walk to, you know, I had to go into gym class wearing socks because I couldn't, or just sock-footed because I couldn't find my sneakers and I had to walk to school in my boots, you know? Notice that the reward should just be because I am an awesome human that takes care of my stuff. You know, when an item feels like a burden, get rid of it. There we go. Just got this. Oh, somebody is a part of a team. Somebody got a gift back. Thank you for the hearts. I don't know what this. See, okay, notice that. I don't have visitors because of my clutter, so I don't see my family much. No, this is where when I do a consultation with something and I see some other people are signing up for consultations, I will say, not to be like, you know, act now, but I have limited consultation slots. So if you're interested in coaching with me, finding out more about that, what I do is we hop on a consultation call. I ask you a series of questions I ask of all my potential clients. What this does is it allows me to discover what you're struggling with, to see if what I do can help you, but it also makes you discover, gives you some insight into how your clutter is affecting areas of your life. And one of the ones that kind of bums me out is when I hear from people that they say, I don't have people over to my house because I have so much stuff in it. And that bums me out because we are social creatures. And, you know, I mean, I'm as introverted as the next introvert, but I also know that if I don't see people, if I don't get in touch with them, I kind of go feral. So while they don't always come to my house, I also love it when people show up and I can just open the door and say, come on in without drama, as opposed to holding the door shut. So if your things in your home are in the way of you inviting friends over, let's remove the things from your home that don't work, find a home for the things that do, so that you can say, hey friend, want to come over for a cup of tea? I'd like to hang out with you, you know? My boy is 18 and lives with me. I cluttered his room. How can I ask him to clean it? Well, I will say, honestly, if you cluttered it, get curious about how that happened. But if you cluttered it, you clean his room. But if he cluttered it, he cleans it. Pick up after yourself. If everybody picked up after themselves, it would be so much easier. It's a burden. A burden shared is a burden shared. I don't know. Okay, notice Haley. I never have anyone over. I think my house has to be spotless. With 6 kids, it's impossible for my house to be spotless. I feel discouraged about asking people over. I never have anyone over. Notice how you have a thought that makes you feel a feeling, and this is the result you get from that, okay? On the other hand, spotless is a myth. Perfection is a myth. Your friends don't care if it's spotless. Ease up on yourself, cut yourself some slack, and know that there is a grand difference between being decluttered and spotless. And if you want to have friends over, work on this stuff. 6 kids, unless they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even if they're 6 years old, kids can help. They should be learning how to declutter, putting away their stuff. Whoever lives in the home, this is how I coach. So if you don't like this approach, I'm not the coach for you. But what I want to offer is I coach in that everybody who lives in this living, abode, wherever you're living, needs to participate in the decluttering and the maintenance of the home to the extent that they are capable. And to the extent they are capable is the asterisk for people who are like under the age of 3 and over the age of like 100. Okay? Other than that, everybody knows at a certain level where things go and to put them away and can get into the habit of it. A lot of it is just, I love to just drain the drama out of it. It's just, so much of it is just habits. And habits of here and habits of here, right? Okay. I downsized from a divorce, says Jen K. I got left with everything. Some of it's worth stuff. Sell the stuff that's worth stuff and spend the money on something you want. How's that? Okay. You're welcome, Jen, for thinking when I do it. Would you tell my cats they live in my house, stop making a mess? I know, huh? I want to get rid of it, but don't want to lose the money that could be made. Okay, so find out a way to sell it. eBay, auction, Facebook Marketplace, free, getting the word out to your friends. There we go. Jen Bull, Jen K, Jen Bull, meet Jen K. Jen K, meet Jen Bull. Jen K wants to sell stuff. Jen Bull's selling some stuff. Maybe you can swap ideas of how to sell things. I used to do that. Okay. Notice, babe, and I'll hop onto this, and I'm going to be mindful of the time because I hop right into coaching for this. I will give one last plug to getting onto the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. You get a free habit tracker. Then you're going to get a whole bunch of cool stuff. I almost said tickets, but like invites to free Zooms, replays of workshops, all sorts of good stuff. Okay. Okay, here's the thing I want to leave you with. It's so hard to clean up after someone who refuses to pick up after themselves. So don't. Let their stuff sit on the floor and see what happens. They need to pick up after themselves, and it may be that they're in the habit of somebody else picking up after themselves, but now it's time to retrain them, because it should not be one person's job in the home unless you're paying a maid and it's their responsibility to pick up. Other than that, everybody in the home should be doing their own part. Okay? That's how I coach. That's how in my mind it should be. Okay? So thank you everybody for showing up. Okay, I can declutter, but I have a full garage. It's how to let go. Any advice on accumulated clutter? Yes, I will say this. First of all, I'm going to show up and do TikTok lives tomorrow, next day. There's a schedule posted on my my TikTok page, and so you can find out that. But what I will say is just notice why you're keeping it. Are you using it? If it's something you're using, it's not clutter. It's good stuff if you are using it. But if you're not using it, if it's not working for you, ask yourself why you're keeping it, and then find a way to release it. If you don't want it, somebody else out there does, and you can do it. And here's what I want to leave you with is you deserve to live a life you love, a destination. If you have stuff around that you're not digging, you deserve to live a life only surrounded by stuff you love, that's useful, that makes you feel good, okay? There we go. Donna just folded laundry and threw out an ugly sheet. All right, my friends, I have to go. I'm hopping on to coaching. Sign up for my mailing list. See you tomorrow on TikTok. And just remember, seriously, you can do something today to get you to the destination that you want. All right? I'll see you.